You don't like Inglourious Bastards?
I'm gonna have to see it again. I also don't think I'm that big of a that guy that made Inglourious Bastards. What's his name?
Oh my God.
Tizo Touchdown. What's his name?
It's not Tizo Touchdown.
Terrance McKinnon.
Holy Lord.
Terrance Tantino.
Terrance Tantino. No, you're getting warmer though.
Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino.
No, it's Terrance Tantino.
I don't think I'm a big Quentin Tarantino guy.
Really?
But I haven't seen Pulp Fiction. I haven't seen Kill Bill. I haven't seen Django.
Well, of course you're not a Terrance Tantino guy then. You haven't seen any of his movies. You sound like me right now.
Disturbing the peace with some peace of mind. Sleeping in jeans, I'ma need a night. OD on the cheap advice. OC on the cheapest flight. Lately I've been on the move trying to get to something. But I told her I've been running just to see the sights.
Welcome back to Friends with Benedicts. Breakfast around the world.
Should we address anything or?
Probably. Do we need to make another apology?
That seems to be how we start every episode now.
No, we end every episode with apologies.
No, well, now we're starting by saying, sorry it took so long, and then we apologize for all the people we accidentally backhanded.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Or should we just let it go?
We should just let it go.
Yeah.
They forgive us. I know
sometimes
they do.
Mystery and wonder, where have they been? What have they been doing? But the truth is, we had a big fight, and this is the first time we've talked since the fight.
That is true. We fought about who actually gets to grow a mustache this time, because I thought it was my turn, and somehow we miscommunicated, and you thought it was your turn, and now here we are both with mustaches.
I know,
and it got ugly.
Yeah. And so this is kind of post Fallout. We're trying to make amends here.
Yeah.
We canceled the podcast, like LCD Sound System stopped making music, and then now we're like 3 months later and we're making another podcast, kind of like how they made an album like that same year.
Exactly. Yeah. We're kind of like Logic saying that he retired and then dropped an album a year later.
Yeah, and then like 3 more shortly after.
Yeah.
And everything he's done since, and everything you do since you say you retire is kind of lackluster.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We retired. We're just putting a little less effort into it now.
Yeah. Oh, this is the victory lap.
It is?
Well, yeah, I mean, we haven't hit 100 episodes, but yeah, this is like, now that we're retired, we're just doing it for fun. It's no longer, there's no pressure anymore.
Oh, yeah, good. Thank goodness. There's so much pressure before. It was such a rigid program.
Exactly.
Well,
it's just weight off my shoulders, though, to just relax.
Man, I swear, I don't think there's anything more annoying in the world than people on podcasts apologizing for not being consistent and then continuing to not be consistent. But I'm still sorry.
Yeah, and we're probably still going to be inconsistent.
No, we're not. What are you talking? Well, okay, for the holidays.
Christmas is coming up, I know.
Yeah.
But there's always an excuse. We always have an excuse. It's the holidays, we're traveling, we're tired. The last 3 months was just because we were like kind of tired. Which doesn't bode well.
We're back now. We've rested. I only slept like 3 hours last night, and I'm like, I decided we're doing this anyway.
I did too. Were you editing?
Perfect. No, I just couldn't sleep.
Oh,
for
whack.
No good reason. Yeah. So.
Do you want me to warm us up with a news story?
Yeah, I would love a news story. Hit me with it.
Okay, so this news story I found because I was looking for something interesting to talk about 5 minutes before we hit record. So it's big news. It's really important. I was trying to figure out how it fits into the theme of the podcast. Then I realized the podcast has no theme. And so I figured, perfect. And I also know, maybe we could set this up by saying, how much do you, Jake, like Subway restaurants?
Subway sandwiches?
Yeah, restaurants, like sandwiches.
The restaurant. I'm going to give it, even if we were doing a tier list of just fast food, like all the places with drive-through windows and Subway. Do they have drive-through windows at Subway?
No.
Oh yeah, that would be terrible. Imagine
like
telling them
really
every
long
topping
window.
and dressing.
You have to like creep forward. You're like, tomato.
Yeah,
no,
but you
peppers,
have to...
not black pepper. You have to reverse.
You have to sign what toppings you want because it's just a sealed off window while you drive.
Yeah, no drive-through at Subway.
If it was a tier list of all drive-through fast food and Subway would be dungeon tier. Worse than McDonald's, McDonald's is pretty sick. We became big fans of McDonald's this summer, but
there's something we could talk about later. Put a pin in that.
Oh yeah, put a pin in McDonald's.
Yeah.
Dude, Subway is lower than Arby's, and it's lower than Carl's Jr.
Whoa.
Yeah, and you know how bad Carl's Jr. is.
Whoa. I had Carl's Jr. for the first time in years, like a couple weeks ago with my older sister and her husband, and that place is pretty good. I got the French toast sticks, and I felt sick for 3 days.
I was going to say, and then you hung out with me the day after and spent the entire day complaining about wanting to throw up.
Yeah, and I don't regret it at all. They're so good. I would do it again.
Man. I don't know. Oh, I wasn't even thinking Carl's Jr. I was thinking Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box has dollar tacos, and they're actually made of dog food. Everyone jokes about Taco Bell's meat being dog food. Jack in the Box actually is dog food. It's crazy.
Have you had it?
Yeah.
All right.
Not recently, but it's terrible. That was a college go-to.
I went to Jack in the Box right after my driver's test when I got my driver's license, because it was right next door. And on my driver's test, I ran a red light while the guy was looking down, and I still got my license.
Got away with it?
Yeah, I did.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, you seized the opportunity because you really wanted Jack in the Box.
Yeah, I was like, we got some food to get. Yeah.
I think I went to Sonic. I think you just unlocked my memory. I was like, right after I got my license, I was like, I can drive by myself now. There's a Sonic close to my house. I went and got a happy hour slush, and I've been driving ever since.
Dang, all right. There's some audience engagement. What restaurant did you go to after getting your driver's license?
Yeah.
Man, we're back strong, baby. This is going
just
really
like we
good.
Never left.
Yeah.
Back here for the riveting content. Oh, I got another pin comment, but we'll save it for later. What?
Okay.
So Subway, dungeon tier Subway.
What's the most you would pay for a Subway sandwich?
You'd probably have to pay me to eat a Subway sandwich.
Okay.
But I don't know. I feel like going rate for a foot long should be like $10.
Wow. All right. They used to have $5 foot longs. That's a huge.
In this economy, come on.
That's not what I expected. But
I'm pretty sure a Whopper meal is like $15.
Really? Whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow, things are really crazy.
Is this a story about inflation?
No, it's not.
Hard-hitting news? Oh,
no,
okay.
Let me read you this. What would you say if I told you that a lady in Atlanta spent $7,000 for a Subway sandwich?
For one Subway sandwich?
For one Subway sandwich.
Was it 7,000 feet long?
No.
Or, sorry, that's bad math. Was it 800 feet long?
There's the good math. No, wasn't 800 feet long. No, so College Park, Georgia, more than $7,000 for a Subway Italian sub. That's what a Metro Atlanta woman discovered charged to her credit card bill after ordering her regular number 4 from the College Park Subway. Quote, I could have gone to Italy and gotten a sandwich, she told Channel 2 consumer investigator Justin Gray, who's Justin Gray is definitely getting to the bottom of the no way Justin Gray's an intern. Anyway, Connor said at the end of every week she checks her credit card statements when she noticed the charge. I know exactly what it normally cost, $7.54, but the bill on the meal charged her credit card was $7,112.98. She said, I was like, oh my God, how did this happen? Which is a pretty good reaction, I suppose. She then noticed the number on the tip line matched several numbers from her telephone number. So she now believes the screen changed to tip when she was trying to enter her phone number to collect her Subway reward points.
No.
I must have been keying it in the pad, she said. She thought it would be a simple fix, but for nearly a month, she's been trying to unsuccessfully get the charge reversed.
No.
That story basically ends with everyone tagging Subway on social media and them saying they're working on it, but I don't think there's been a resolution, and that was posted 9 days ago.
Oh my God. Dude, I feel like if that went to court, Subway could win that.
Probably.
Because they have a ton of money and a ton of lawyers, and who knows what the tipping laws are.
Yeah, I don't know, but I was kind of thinking about it. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Damn. $7,000 tip?
Yeah. Wow.
Dude. Tipping, huh?
Well, that's the thing. I don't really want to talk about tipping. And it's a bummer.
I could talk about tipping, but I don't know if I want to.
Well, everyone feels the same about tipping. It's like...
Yeah, exactly. It's gotten out of hand, and everyone feels that weird social pressure to hit it because they pretend to look away while you push the tip buttons, even though as soon as they turn the pad around, they see what you tipped.
Yeah, and the fact...
so uncomfortable.
And the fact that, like, the tip was supposed to be for, like, if someone is, like, your waiter or your waitress or whatever, but now it's just, like... It's just the guy that does the same job as the online McDonald's computers that you and I are big fans of.
Dude, yeah. I had a major perspective shift on McDonald's this summer.
Me too.
Like, we as you know, we're big world traveler guys.
I guess we are.
Former world traveler guys, but
wow.
But
put a pin in that, but for like a couple months from now.
Yeah, that's for a later date. But big world traveler guys, we're traveling across Europe all the time, and man, if there's one thing you cannot do in Europe, it's eat food quickly. Like, if you want actual European food, you better buckle up for a 2.5 hour experience in a restaurant.
Dude, it's disgusting.
And once 2.5 hours is up, you gotta...
all they want is for you to talk to your friends and connect with the community. And it's like, God, can I just eat a burger made out of like microplastics
Seriously.
and go home and watch Netflix,
while
please?
I'm operating a motor vehicle trying to get to my destination?
Yeah, and drive by 7 party cities on the way back to my apartment.
Exactly, dude. They're a bunch of uncultured brutes over there.
I know.
Yeah, and if you want to leave the restaurant, you got to wait an extra hour to try to get a bill. You have to like beg them to give you the check.
And it's rude to do that, so
yeah,
you can't really win.
So that's why McDonald's became the American embassy for us. Because, man, nothing makes you feel like at home more than ordering from a tablet screen, not having to talk to a single human, and getting your Coke Zero and Egg McMuffin. Yeah,
and let me maybe I'm going to make a public request to all McDonald's worldwide. It's mandatory. It's mandatory from here. Yeah, for sure. It's mandatory from here on out that you carry McPlant Fresh.
Dude, no kidding. That's probably part of why I fell in love with McDonald's, is I didn't think they had any veggie options. And The first McDonald's we stopped at was on top of a mountain pass in the Austrian Alps, and it had a 180-degree panoramic window. And I figured I was just going to get French fries and a Coke. They got a burger called a McPlant Fresh. I ate my McPlant Fresh looking out the panoramic view of the Alps. And then I'm pretty sure every other country after that, they didn't have McPlant Freshes anymore.
Yeah, it was a huge bummer. I'm also having a micro panic attack because I'm pretty sure we've talked about the Swiss McDonald's McPlant Fresh before already. I think we talked about it like maybe last
twice.
episode. Yeah.
Maybe twice.
It's a real standout moment for both Jake and I. It's like, wow, we haven't caught up in like 3 months. What do you want to talk about?
And
let's talk about McDonald's again.
We're just like the old guys that meet at a Dunkin' Donuts every Sunday, and they talk about the good old days. They talk about that one catch they had at shortstop when they played baseball every week.
Yep.
Yeah. What was the best baseball play you were ever a part of?
I don't think I have one good baseball play to my name. I'm sorry.
Wait, I have an update to the Austrian McDonald's though, because I actually do have an updated McDonald's. I'm sorry to tell the same McDonald's story twice, but as you can tell, we're passionate about it. McDonald's is our passion.
We traveled the stupid world for 4 years, and that's the main thing that stands out.
Well, then we go to a wonderful, magical place called Quebec, Canada. And
truly, I have nothing bad to say about it.
One of the highlights of the year, driving through Quebec. But we were driving all day long. We drove from New York City to Quebec. Doesn't matter. We got to Quebec pretty late. And we're starving. We found a McDonald's. Thank God we're at the American Embassy because Quebec is another world. And I didn't see the McPlant Fresh, which was a bummer. But thankfully, I saw a Big Mac no meat. So I was like, sick. They got a veggie Big Mac. That's perfect. I order the Big Mac no meat, and it comes 3 buns with sauce and lettuce and cheese, and that's all it is.
Straight up, just like bread sandwich.
Just bread sauce sandwich. It was really bad.
Yeah,
but
that was really bad. But we did meet a fan in that McDonald's against all possible odds.
A fan of our mountain bike series.
Oh,
not
right.
of
That's
anything
right.
we do.
That's true. For some reason, I blocked that part of my memory.
Yeah.
What was I going to say about... Oh, it's still... Okay, this is kind of like... I don't know if I've done the Northern Canada rant on this whole podcast or with you. Probably don't need to get into it. It's pretty stupid. But
you have with me, but not on the podcast.
It's not really worth talking about. Basically, I just think it's crazy that Canada is so big and there's nothing in it. That's the thesis statement of my rant. But I can talk about it forever because it's fucked up, dude. How big Canada?
Dude.
Anyway, I'm not going there.
It's a fair thesis. It's a fair thesis because that's how I felt in Alaska too. And Alaska's still just like at the tip of when it becomes nothingness. Canada has deep nothingness, but Alaska, you're kind of like standing on the precipice of nothingness, and you look out into it, and you're like, "Whoa, that's scary out there."
It's kind of like it gives me the same vibe as like if the world was. I mean, of course, the world is flat, so like, since the world is flat, it's the same vibe as standing on the edge of the world and looking off into nothingness. It's like the fact that there's a point in Canada where you just look up and there is nothing for not hundreds of miles, but thousands and thousands of miles, just nothing.
Well, and there's like these tiers to it because we're used to like the lower 48 American wilderness, which you can get really out there, but there's still almost always resources like kind of near.
Yeah.
Like even if it's 100 miles, that's like kind of near.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But still wilderness. And then the other end of the spectrum is we go to Europe, and it makes so much more sense why people say they backpack through Europe, because like the craziest mountains there have restaurants at the peak, and there's just infrastructure everywhere because like civilization has just been built up for so long there that the mountains don't feel nearly as wild. And then you go to freaking middle of Canada and Alaska, you're in big trouble.
There's nothing. It's just I guess it's just I have such a Western mentality, which is like we live in the future and everything has already been done and like all that sort of stuff. To just imagine like you could drop me in with a helicopter in the middle of northern Canada and you would never hear from me again. You'd never know what happened. You'd never find my body. Dude. Nothing. Oblivion. Ooh. It's like that episode of SpongeBob when they go into like that weird white basement and Squidward's there and there's just like nothing there.
Yeah.
That's Canada.
I got a question for you.
Okay. I didn't even get to my point, but
I was trying to avoid. Get to your point.
Wait, hold your because my point is really quick. My point is really quick. My point is just that it's still a trip to me that you can be in the heart of New York City and take one drive and everyone speaks French. That's, dude, geography, man. Geography corner with Shaffer. It really is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy for Americans because the U.S. is so gigantic that it's crazy that you can drive for 36 hours and the culture is almost the same, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas in Europe, you drive 2 hours and it's a completely different culture, completely different language, everything. Mm-hmm. So that's such a like strange concept in the States. But yeah, it's like you drive to Quebec or Montreal and it's another world. It's
not that like if you're in Southern California, it's not that crazy when you drive over the border and you're in Mexico. It's like, yeah, but you don't think like it's the same thing in New York, but with the French language. It's weird. It's just weird. So anyway, that's crazy. But what's your question?
That is crazy. My question is, if you had, I gotta think of the best way to propose this to you. Okay. You have the option of being equipped with gills so you can breathe underwater.
Okay, that is not where I thought this was going. But carry on.
You can either get equipped with gills and be dropped in the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Oh, you're also equipped with pressure stability. So wherever you are in the ocean, your pressure.
Okay, so I'm not like the submarine.
No. I was going to start this with you're in a submarine, but then it defeats the purpose of my question. So you got gills, you got pressure stability, and you get dropped in the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Mm-hmm. Or you get dropped in the middle of Canada.
Oh my gosh.
Which do you pick?
So I'm either going to be Johnny Gilman or I'm going to be Canada Man.
Who's Johnny Gilman? Is he the Waterworld guy? Or did you just make up Johnny Gilman?
I just made up Johnny Gilman.
Gilman. Okay. Right.
Nice, dude. You got it. Is the purpose of this to survive or is the purpose of this to live out my days?
I mean, what's the difference? Am I right?
Fair point. That's a fair point. Oh man. And it's me currently. Like I have all my same memories. It's just going to be very different because I'm either going to be, okay.
Yeah. And I guess theoretically you could swim out of the Mariana Trench, be in the middle of whichever ocean the Mariana Trench is in and swim to you could do that, but obviously that's going to take a while. You'd have to hunt and catch fish and eat them and stuff. Uh-huh. Or if you're in Canada, you could, I guess, hike, but you're also gonna have to hunt and
so in your hypothetical, it's an option for me to just go home if I'm able to make it. That is a weird detail.
Yeah, but which do you have a higher probability of actually doing?
Dude, if I'm in the sea and I have gills, probably the sea. There's fish everywhere and I'm pressure resistant.
And there's freaking sea monsters everywhere.
Oh, there is sea monsters everywhere. I forgot about the sea monsters.
Dude, you ever seen an orca whale before?
Yeah, I know. But you ever seen a grizzly bear before?
Orca whales have been attacking ships for fun lately. They've been spreading the message that humans suck, so they've been ganging up and sinking ships.
I don't think that's all that different from what grizzly bears do to people, though.
Yeah, but that's only if grizzly bears are hungry. Orca whales are spiteful. They'll torture you before they kill you. They'll drag you underwater and then toss you in the air and do it 10 times before they kill you.
But what they don't know about Johnny Gilman is that he's a mighty persuasive, friendly fellow. And what's to say I won't be an insider in the orca army?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
I'm like a spy. And then I would be like, here would be my pitch to the orca army. Okay. I will tell you everything I know about ships. I'll tell you where the batteries go. I'll tell you where the fish nets are kept. Points. Yeah, all the weak points. And then in return, you take me back to shore in Southern California where I can get a flight back home and be surface Gilman.
But what if they accepted you as one of your own by that point and they just didn't let you go?
I think it would be more a matter of if I accept them as my family. If that was the case, then I would just stay and fight the good fight.
And this is more probable than surviving a grizzly?
Dude, you lost me at probability when you said you have gills and can survive at the bottom of the Mariana Trench.
I need you to take some logic into this, dude. Your answer is complete nonsense. This is a serious question.
I'm either going to be king of the grizzly bears or top secret insider spy for the orca whales. And I think I'm going to go with spy.
I think you would be slave for the grizzly bears. There's no way you'd be king of the grizzlies.
You don't know that.
You'd just be their little fisher boy.
Dude, Napoleon was short.
The movie?
No, Napoleon the guy was short.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that'd be a miracle.
It does not matter. No, it does. No, it's not short. I haven't heard very good things about that movie so far. I was going to go see it, and then I was just like, eh.
Me neither. But I am seeing Dream Scenario tonight.
Never
I'm
even
real stoked for that.
Never even heard of. Oh, that's the one with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, that's a Nick Cage movie. Yeah.
Got it. I've heard mixed things about that one too.
Dang it. Don't tell me that.
Should we review
expectations before I go in? Yeah. Give me your best review of Dream Scenario with starring Nicolas Cage.
I'm scared to do that one because I feel like I probably might like that one. But we could review Napoleon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Too long.
Too short. Napoleon, not
Napoleon,
the movie.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Long movie, short guy. Big, big disaster. 2 out of 10.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
What did you? Oh, yeah.
Long movie, short guy, big disaster.
Yeah, I didn't like Napoleon.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big war movie guy.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
you're
the
a big
most fun
Joaquin
movie.
guy.
I love Joaquin. Yeah, that's kind of the only reason I wanted to see it, because Joaquin is sick.
Yeah.
But war, not so sick.
Really? I'm trying to think of maybe a war. You don't like Inglourious Bastards?
I saw Inglourious Bastards with a former girlfriend of mine and her extremely religious father.
Okay.
And it was the most uncomfortable experience of my life.
Huh.
Because we did not know what we were getting in for. So I kind of didn't really get to enjoy the movie because I just was sitting in discomfort while I knew that he hated it and hated me.
Oh, good.
So I'm going to have to see it again.
Interesting. What about...
But I also don't think I'm that big of a... that guy that made Inglourious Bastards. What's his name?
Oh, my God.
Tizo Touchdown. What's his name?
It's not Tizo Touchdown.
Terrance McKinnon. Terrance Tantino.
Terrance Tantino. No, you're getting warmer though.
Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino.
No, it's Terrance Tantino.
I don't think I'm a big Quentin Tarantino guy.
Really?
But I haven't seen Pulp Fiction. I haven't seen Kill Bill. I haven't seen Django.
Well, of course you're not a Terrance Tantino guy. Then you haven't seen any of his movies. You sound like me right now.
Dude. I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me.
Oh my God.
Too much violence.
Dude, now I know what it's like to be you. Too much violence.
I just wish he focused more on character building and didn't rely on gore and violence as such a crutch, you know? It's just a shame.
Yeah, not a lot of character development in Pulp Fiction. Based. Yeah. Have you seen Hacksaw Ridge?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, I guess
you're
not a war movie
guy with the chainsaw arm?
No.
Oh.
No. It's not.
Darn.
It's like a true story about this guy. Let me give you my best summary of Hacksaw Ridge. It's this story about this guy who refuses to use guns in the war, and everyone makes fun of him. And then the war happens, and a bunch of people are like getting killed and stuff. And he's like a medic guy, and he like goes out and like saves a bunch of people. And it's a true story. But there's just one part where he's
that sounds like every war movie ever.
Well,
at least with your synopsis, it does.
Well, it's pretty good. But there's this part though where he is like saving all these people, and he like is like at the bottom of the ridge, and he's exhausted, and he goes, "Please, Lord, just help me save just one more." And that is how I feel whenever I get a box of fruit by the foot. Because I go through boxes
the Lord to save one more.
Yeah, because I go through boxes of fruit by the foot fast.
Do you really?
Yes, and
I'm
always
know fruit
like
by the foot existed anymore.
Yes, and I am always trying to have like one a day max. So every time I eat one, I'm like, please help me save just one. But I still eat the whole box.
Oh my gosh. I just thought of the actual best war movie.
Okay.
Jojo Rabbit. That is a good war movie.
That's kind of a movie that takes place in the time period of a war.
Dude, the final scene is a battle scene, and the little kid Yorkie's cardboard uniform gets blown to bits.
Yeah. Okay.
They're training for war with Hitler the whole movie.
So I don't really know what we're talking about now, because you said you're not a war movie guy, and then I'm trying to sell you on war movies, and now you're trying to sell me on war movies. This podcast is so stupid.
This podcast is a fraud.
It is.
Dang.
But anyway, Jojo Rabbit, good movie. Another great take by the boys.
What's another good movie that you know of? Let's just take turns saying good movies.
Dude, it'd be hard because I would just bring up a bunch of Terrance Tantino movies. And we'd have nothing to talk about.
Well, at least we put some pins in some things earlier that I totally forgot about now.
No, we did McDonald's already.
We pinned McDonald's. Yeah, but there's a pin in McDonald's, and I don't remember what it was.
Well, we were just going to talk about how we went to a lot of them and how cool we are.
That was it? Oh.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, shoot.
Ask me another question. I have a question. I have a good one. I have kind of one.
Okay.
Or do you have one? Because mine's not that good. All right.
Nope.
Okay. So this time of year, there is a thing that happens called Thrasher's Skater of the Year, which is, don't worry, we're not going to talk about skateboarding that much. But basically, Thrasher picks their favorite skateboarder through the year. And no one really knows how they pick it. Some say, oh, it doesn't matter. Anyway, there needs to be a broader version of Skater of the Year for the civilians. And so I was thinking maybe we could do Friends with Benedicts presents Guy Civilian and Gal of the Year. Yeah. Civilian and Civiliette of the Year.
Okay. Yeah, it feels a little early to do it, but I mean, if Spotify's doing Wrapped already,
Skater of the Year happens this week. So,
yeah. Oh, who got it?
It hasn't happened yet, but it usually happens the first week of December.
Oh, good. Don't spoil it for the people.
Well, it's not happened.
I know.
Oh, okay.
But by the time this is out, it will have.
Oh, yeah. So
happened.
all of our overlap people who listen to us and professional skateboarding.
Civilian of the Year. Who are your top contenders? Like, you need a.
I haven't even thought about
list,
that.
right?
Yeah, I have not even thought about that.
Well, you're in luck.
Well, we gotta have Trump and Biden on there.
Of course, classic civilians, just a couple normal ass dudes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just because people love hearing about them. So
yeah,
that won't get us in any sort of trouble. We'll put Trump and Biden on there.
Yep. Okay. Oh, are we both compiling the nominees list right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I nominate let me think of who are some notable civilians of the year.
Taylor Swift.
Yep, another good civilian. Lucky for you, I was gonna do
guy and girl of the year. You were the one that turned into the civilian of the year.
Oh, but you said we need a category for normal people.
Okay, Jake, I give you a challenge. Tell me one civilian that everyone knows the name of who's just a normal person with nothing notable about them whatsoever.
Nicolas Cage. He's a normal ass dude.
Okay.
There's gotta be, like, you know how there's always those, I'm trying to think of those random stories where
I know one. It's the guy that was drinking the cranberry juice listening to Fleetwood Mac. Yeah,
dog face.
Yeah. The guy who now has a whole brand.
That guy. Exactly. And I know there's some guy who like saved a dog from a collapsing mine or something like that this year too.
Yeah. But those are boring stories.
Okay, so we're just doing Time's Person of the Year, Time Magazine People of the Year.
I think that would be easier to talk about.
That's fair.
So far we have Trump, Biden, and Taylor Swift.
Trump, Biden, Taylor Swift.
And Nicolas Cage and Dogface.
Dude, I don't know why my brain does not work this way. I can't think of a single person's name right now.
You can be on the list.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for the pity nomination.
Yeah, and then we can put on Billie Eilish can go on there. We can put on...
what even happened this year? I can't think of anything notable.
There was the submarine thing.
I think we know Taylor Swift won Woman of the Year. I think we would get canceled if we didn't nominate her as Woman of the Year.
For what? What did she do other than make a bunch of money?
Oh, dude, careful.
What did she do, dude?
She's the best. She is the best musician and the best friend to all of her fans. And I love her regardless of what Shaffer says.
I don't like Taylor Swift.
Oh no, you're a dead man.
That's probably worse than the Trump and Biden idea, honestly.
100%.
I don't understand. No, I don't get it. Is that such a crime? God. I don't get it.
This is such dangerous territory.
Is it?
I got nothing to do with
dude,
this.
If you're allowed to not like Tintin wearing Terrance, I'm allowed to not.
It's Terrance Tantino, dude.
Oh, right. Okay, this is a stupid idea. I don't like Civilian of the Year anymore.
Oh man. It was a good idea. I just can't think of anyone.
All right.
I don't know what's going on in the world still.
Yeah. Well, that was fun.
You got any what if instead of person of the year, what if we did gifts of the year? It's Christmas shopping season. People got to start buying gifts. What do you think are the top gifts of the season?
I can't talk about this without giving away some of the gifts I'm buying. So I'm excluding the ones that I'm getting for people.
Okay.
Because obviously I can't do that. So gift of the year for me would be I don't know, Jake. I have the same problem with this that you had with people. I could think of something. Yule logs, maybe.
Maybe this is why we haven't podcasted in months. Maybe we just
maybe we're actually kind of boring people.
No, we'll be more prepared next time. This one was
for sure.
A little thrown together. We could talk about Kid Laroi on the button, Cody Co's thing. I got a. This might take us somewhere. Okay. This might take us somewhere.
For the sake of editing, Jake and I took a quick powwow to talk about something really topical, and we came up with Kid Laroi on the button.
We are really rusty at this point. This usually happens when we haven't podded in a while.
Yeah.
But don't worry. We'll get back. Just hang with us. Thanks for
buckle up because this segment is about to be crazy.
This is where it gets good.
You think it was good when we were talking about McDonald's versus Subway? Oh, just you wait. Yeah, just you wait. Here we go. All right, tee it up.
Okay. Well, do you watch Cody Co's YouTube channel? Like the button
I like Cody Co. I haven't watched his YouTube channel in a while, but I do.
Okay.
I did listen to the Kid Laroi's new album. Yeah, I've seen the button.
Oh, okay.
I've seen the button.
Okay.
Want to give me a 20-second overview of what the button is, just for
the button
civilians?
Is a YouTube dating show where two people sit on stage and there's a red button in the middle, and they talk to each other. They go on a little speed date, and if the button turns red, someone can hit the button and it eliminates the other person and brings in a new date. So it's entertaining for obvious reasons.
Yeah, because people are pretending to like each other, just waiting for the button to go so that they can smack it first.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And they're also trying to figure out if like the other person is actually into it or fake into it.
Yeah.
So it's very, very interesting. Cody Co reacts to it, which is the only format I watch it in, because why would you want to watch the normal show when you can watch someone react to the show?
Yeah, exactly.
So, but they had Kid Laroi on to promote his album. Mm-hmm. And it was just Kid Laroi and the dates. And if Kid Laroi hit the button, the date would leave. If the date hit the button, the date would leave. So, it was completely pointless because it was just Kid Laroi cycling through a bunch of different girls, regardless of who hit the button. But the other part of it that I guess I actually wanted to talk about was that dude, like, just couldn't talk to people. He was like incapable of having a normal human conversation, and it made me pretty bummed out thinking about like that type of life. Where I didn't realize he's only 20 right now. So he became a superstar at like 16 or something.
Yeah. Which also is a mystery to me because he never even had an album. He's only had singles and been features with Justin Bieber. And I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah. He had an album before this newest one.
I don't think so. I think it's just like an EP or something or whatever the short one is. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense why he became buds with Justin Bieber because they're probably like the same person. You know?
Yeah.
Bieber probably understands him super well, but so that was that hard hitting story was basically
Kid Laroi is a weenie that can't talk to anybody.
Basically, I just felt massive sympathy for him because it would be so hard to date anyway. Because they were trying to pretend on the button. They were like trying to pretend that people didn't know who he was. And they'd be like, oh, did you know that he's a musician? And they're like, ooh, no. What kind of music do you play? And they obviously all knew it was Kid Laroi.
Yeah.
But What a lonely life, dude, when everyone in the world knows you.
Yeah.
Like, you could almost write a hit song about that.
Especially when, oh my gosh, here we go. Especially when you're kind of just a ripoff of a bunch of other people. Like, I kind of hate to say it. Like, there are some Kid Laroi songs I really like. I really like his The Kids Are Growing Up song is awesome. It's so good. But he's gotten kind of busted in the past. One of his music videos, it's got like a train in it or something or whatever. Someone did a comparison back to back between it and an Oliver Tree video, and it is shot for shot the exact same music video. Like,
oh wow,
yeah, and that I feel like summarizes Kid Laroi so well. It's like he's slightly different than other people, like he's slightly different than Justin Bieber and Post Malone, but not by a lot.
Yeah.
And well, he's like hyper superstar, and
that's kind of the story of hyper pop superstars. Is like, I mean, that's the model, right? You try to find them at 16, 17 years old,
yeah,
and hope you can just like milk them for all they're worth before they become like 20.
Yeah, why are these like super celebrities so bland? Am I the only one that feels that way? But like with Kid Laroi,
I think it's and
their whole mission,
just because it's a business.
That's true, but their whole mission as people, once they get discovered, is to not be bland anymore. At Miley Cyrus, it's just like this mission to be like, I'm not PG, I'm rated R, and it's still just like this cycle that they go through that is so played out and boring.
Well, I think it's because they're kids. They hardly have a taste when they, start. They're just really talented singers.
Yeah.
And so then they get funneled into the money-making machine of pop music, and they get songs written for them, and get funneled.
I'm more like amazed, I guess, that there is as big of an audience as there is for them. Like, do most people just have really bland taste?
I think so. Yeah.
That's sad. It's like the Party City of music. Dude, Party City, I just noticed Party Cities are like everywhere. And I don't know anyone that's been in a Party City in the last...
Oh, it has to be a money laundering operation.
Oh, for sure.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
Who goes to Party City?
Yeah, nobody. If I even get party stuff, I usually will go to like... If I'm in the city, I'll go to like a Target or something. I won't even go to Party City.
Yeah.
Anyway, Target City. Definitely money laundering. But that's kind of how the pop music thing is, dude. It's like everywhere. There are a dime a dozen these like...
I think there's a shocking amount of people that don't care that much for music discovery. They're just like happy with whatever the hits are at the time. And it always surprises me when I meet those people, because they don't usually tend to be the people I get along with.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think there's a massive chunk of people that just like music is kind of background, and they're happy with whatever just like gets the head bobbing, and then call it a day.
Yeah, dude, it's really interesting. But but there's an even deeper like sub cult of that though, which is the people who obviously don't care too much about discovering something new, but also know everything about insert X pop star, Kid Laroi, Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know.
It makes me sad because I just feel like people are really good at marketing, and that's sort of what most people's taste is like the byproduct of, is just there's a big marketing budget. Yeah,
for sure. I don't know. This is basically a dead end comment, but you mentioned Kid Laroi potentially stealing a Oliver Tree music video. Did you know that Oliver Tree stole a Gene Dawson music video?
Really?
Yeah, there's a video of... Oh, shoot, my battery just died. Hang tight. Man, I really hope it saved that first recording.
I think it does. I'm pretty sure it will.
Battery.
I'm pretty sure it will.
Yeah, my camera battery just died. But there's a video of Gene Dawson subtly calling out Oliver Tree for stealing a music video of his. But that's basically all I know about it. So that's why it's a dead end conversation, because I don't know which video.
Well, it just goes to show everyone's a copy of a copy of a copy. It's just pretty bleak out there. I had a thought that I was actually thinking about that would be good for this, and I'm glad this reminded me, but Miley Cyrus should be Taylor Swift. And I kind of feel like Miley Cyrus has got to be watching this whole Taylor Swift thing and just thinking, I must have done something wrong along the way. Because think about it, okay? Miley was country sweetheart turned star.
Yeah.
Total like country girl, like small town thing going on. She had every advantage in the world. She had all of Disney Channel behind her. Her dad is Billy Ray Cyrus. And she kind of went...
Her sister is Noah Cyrus. Her brother was in Metro Station.
Well, you know a lot more about her than I do. But everything was leading her in the path of becoming what Taylor Swift is right now. Taylor Swift was not... She didn't have all those same advantages, okay? And I can only imagine that Miley Cyrus is looking at this Taylor Swift thing just feeling like, I'm the worst cowgirl.
Do you think that's because people like the no advantages backstory more than Miley had all the advantages backstory?
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like it's probably that along with a billion other reasons.
Yeah, there's probably a billion reasons, but it's probably a lot harder to dedicate your life and all of your identity with a person who used to be a Disney star versus someone who seems more like is more of a real artist.
Right.
I actually do love Taylor Swift. I know I'm joking about all this, but I do love
I don't know.
her music.
I guess that's kind of a dead end comment too. No, come to think of it.
What, me?
All I'm saying is if I'm... No, just the whole Miley Cyrus thing. All I'm saying is if I'm Miley Cyrus, my two...
Is she...
Yeah, she's still making
music.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and I was just thinking my two missions in life are to be popular and a somewhat post-country rock star. And she did it, I guess, but Taylor Swift's the most popular person in the world. And that's got to kind of suck.
True. Well, and what happened to Billie Eilish, too? I mean,
I don't know. I think she just didn't come with an album this year.
Yeah, that's true. But it just seems like general sentiment for her isn't favorable anymore either. Like people don't seem that stoked on Miley or Billie. They just love Taylor.
Yeah.
What team are you? If you had to pick Team Miley, Team Taylor, Team Billie?
Gosh, don't make me do this. Probably
that's the easiest question ever.
Probably Team Miley.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know why. I just feel in some weird twisted version of my brain that is subject to all this marketing stuff. I'm just like, Miley's kind of the same thing. By all measurable, quantitative, she's the same person.
Why Miley over Billie? Because wouldn't you say you like Billie's music the most out of those three?
Yeah, probably. But I don't know, man. She's a different, she's like a whole different thing. She doesn't have country background at all.
Oh, you need some country in your background.
Well, I just
you
don't
need
know
someone who understands the wide open space.
Exactly. Sure.
That's one thing Miley knows is wide open spaces.
Yeah, for sure. All the wide open
Real
spaces.
country girl.
LAX with the dream in my cardigan. Fine, Billie Eilish, you win.
Yes, perfect. I just realized there was something happening in the YouTube world other than Kid Laroi being on the button.
Wow.
But it's also a dead end because I didn't watch it. But Emma Chamberlain is back, maybe.
I don't know.
She posted another video. Perfect. That was a great dead end. Well, Emma's back on YouTube.
Oh, boy. Sick.
Let's end with...
I just remembered why we didn't do this for 3 months.
Now I remember how painfully uncomfortable this is. And how we always wonder why anyone listens to this. But we do have a nice little Spotify Wrapped. And there's still some people out there listening because Spotify Wrapped told me so.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you for the Spotify Wrapped gang God only knows why. Dude, we only have 30 episodes. I don't know how anyone, unless they just listen to only 30 episodes of our podcast and nothing else, that seems impossible to me. Or unless they're re-listening, in which case, I don't want to say anything.
There must be people who don't listen to any podcasts ever except ours, because we have like 12 people or something that were their number one podcast, like most listened to podcast.
Really? That's like as many people as listen to the podcast.
Listen to this. More than any other podcast. And to that I'll say, seek help.
Find another podcast.
There are some really great podcasts out there
that talk about actual, like literally anything. They talk about like things.
Talk about relevant things. My personal recommendation would be Search Engine. Real good.
Yeah,
one.
Search Engine's good. I haven't been on a big podcast kick lately. I kind of have abandoned podcast. I watched this video where this guy told me Spotify Wrapped is stupid and Discover Weekly is bad and podcasts are a waste of time. So now I just sit in silence and stare at a wall.
I've just been trying to figure out who wrote Toy Story the whole time. So I think I watched the same video.
Yeah, that was
we never gave each other our digital high fives. So
true. We can do that. We can do that for sure.
Your video is sick.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well, actually, first off, let me make fun of your video before I compliment it, because that just makes it like more of something my brain can handle. But yeah. Basically, it was awesome because I just turned it off and then looked at a blank wall and thought about Toy Story, and I googled the Toy Story. I googled the Toy Story credit scene.
Nice.
It was awesome.
Perfect.
Now the truth is, and this is very vulnerable of me, so everyone tune in, okay? I had a mini meltdown after that video because I was like, that was so good that I'm done. My career is over.
Oh, good. I was so scared you were going to say like you had a mini meltdown because you hated it or something.
No. I thought you did such a good job on it and it looked so good. And yeah, I mean,
because
the
I had
lighting
your
stuff
help
you're doing.
No. Dude,
the lighting stuff you're doing these days is like a whole nother level. Like it felt like a real level up. And the fact that you made that video in a week is actually crazy. So,
man, I can't believe that either. And it makes me really frustrated with that whole concept of like you use the time you have available. Because that video I just made, like, I don't think it's any worse than any other video I've made. And I made it in like 4 days.
It was like, it definitely felt like a level up. So my digital high five to you is, it was so good. And
man, thanks.
It made me think like, oh, what do I need to do? Buy more lights, move to an apartment with more light, like blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, the truth is I'll just never be any good.
My God, dude, the truth is you friggin' helped me set up all of that lighting. Because it was your idea to backlight the TV and like motivate the TV light. That was my favorite lighting, was the lighting coming through the door with. It looked like the TV light. It was sick.
It wasn't me, dude. It was just some YouTube guy that I've watched in the past speaking through me.
Dude, no way. Because your video is sick. It was a whole new format. Like, felt like a experiment, and I thought you crushed it.
I'm having a hard time with it right now. So again, here I will be vulnerable. So everybody tune back in. I did the first ever sponsored video contract. So this is the first time I've ever like actually gotten like a paycheck for making YouTube videos before. And I feel like it took my creative motivation and my creative like juice and just dumped it down the juice drain. It was like, I just feel so like dirty. Like I have an idea and I'm like I don't want it to be too good of an idea because I don't want the good idea to be sponsored. I don't know. It's just been a bummer. It's definitely like starving artist mentality where it's like I want it to be pure and I don't want to make money from it. But then it's like, well, I don't know. Yeah. It's just been a bummer of like a experience. I thought it would be like, oh, I'll be able to do this and it'll be fine and I'll be able to like make a creative sacrifice in order to. But now I'm just like, I don't like it.
Yeah. I think that's very common too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's helpful to hear or not, but yeah, I mean, I think most people I know feel that way, and it takes a while to like figure that out. But yeah. I mean, but that doesn't matter saying it, because I know what you mean. It sucks to feel that, and it's hard to, because it feels so good to make the pure things that there's like no sponsor attached to, nothing. Like, especially when it's something that you just love to make and then it's received well, like there's no better feeling than that.
I think that's the other part, is both of them so far, I'm doing 3 and both of them have completely bombed. They've been 10 out of 10 both times. So I'm like, great, I hope it was worth it. They're both just different,
you know?
Yeah, no,
totally. They're both
but
different.
They're different because I feel like I have to cripple them because my good ideas are sacred, you know?
Yeah, totally. And I think that's like totally fine to keep going with, is like, don't let the sacred videos be sponsored. And I think, I don't know anything. Nobody knows anything about YouTube. There's no actual guessing it, but I think the film one will just like be a one that steadily continues to grow. Like might start as maybe a 10 of 10, but then just keeps on going. But
I don't know, the click-through rate is like ridiculously low. It's like 3% or something, no matter what I change the stupid thumbnail and the title to. So I don't know, but regardless of that, and I do feel like it's important to say, the only reason I took the thing in the first place was because it was a brand I actually believe in and support. So it's like my thinking was, if it's a brand that I really, really like, because I don't want Music Bed to sound like the bad guy in this, because they're awesome. And everyone on their end of the communication and everything has been so cool, so supportive, amazing brand that I have talked about in the past and will continue to say, like, they are the best for what they do. So I'm stoked. But the problem is, it's just like, I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to make anyone sign up for anything at all because I made a video about stupid sound effects and like, what a weird funnel to like, I don't know. It's just weird.
Do you think you would have made that video eventually if you didn't have a sponsor?
Probably not. I probably would have not uploaded that week and made something longer and more thought out, I think.
Interesting.
So,
dang. Well, it was a fun video. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, it's fun to make
multiple
too.
People today that enjoyed it.
Oh, really?
So,
well, it was fun to make. Like, I'm glad it exists for sure. I just like the difficult time I'm having with it isn't because I think the video's bad, or it's not because it wasn't fun to make. It's more just like my ever growing fear of being Mr. Billboard man. That is just taping logos to his shirt so that, whatever. It's just like a bummer of an existence. So if anyone from Music Bed is listening, just know you're the best. Your company is amazing. Everything you do is incredible. The support you gave me was just like unheard of, especially for a channel that gets the low amount of views that mine does. But it's just a part of the game.
Well, and regardless of what your perception is, I know for a fact that like anyone else that likes your work sees that and is like, hell yeah, let's get him funding so that he can like keep making the stuff, And I think that's the healthiest mental thing, mindset.
Right.
The healthiest mindset is to just be like, this is funding, and then like you're still going to make the stuff you love regardless.
Yeah. But that's just it though. Is like, without the funding, I think I'd still make the stuff I love regardless. Because
but you got to live.
I know, but I could live another way. I could figure out another way to live.
That's true.
You
could.
It's not, there's not one, like, I feel like the assumption or like the general way of doing things is like, you kind of have to do that. But
yeah. Well, I think that's a really important and very, very pertinent point, is you don't have to make a living with art. And I'm not saying you, I'm saying the broader you, like anyone listening, anyone in the world. You don't have to make a living with art, but for the love of God, keep making the art. Like,
yeah, right.
Like, I think everyone should do something creative, and I totally believe that everyone's more creative than they think they are. They just might not have found the right like medium or format for it. But yeah, man, I think that's like, yeah, maybe you do settle into like, okay, I'm going to build cabinets on the side of while I make art. Like, I think that's such a beautiful solution for so many people.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, a better solution for a lot of people.
Well, so that was the other thing I wanted to just say is like, for me, when I first started making videos on my last channel that is gone now, I would always see people who would have that ad integration stuff, and I'd be like, oh, that's the dream, you know, to like get paid to put the ad in the video. And like, that was like a thing that I thought was really cool. And now it's like when you hear about, I mean, this is a completely different scale, obviously, but like when you hear about like the music artists or the rappers or whatever who make it and all of them say the same thing, it's like, it's not what you think it is. The stupid ad integration on your YouTube video will not fulfill you the way you think. Like, that is not the standard that you should be aiming to reach. The standard should have more to do with the content of what you're making than it is who's willing to put their brand name on it.
Totally. Yeah. So. Totally. That's very, very true. It's always like, I don't know. It's always hard to remember how much more the brands need the artists than the artists need the brands. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, those brands need good artists so desperately, because if they don't have good artists, they're just like soulless, you know? Yeah. Like, the artists do so much for the brands, and a lot of artists get screwed over by the brands. I mean, that's kind of a different topic, but
yeah,
I guess
I think that's true for most brands, maybe outside of MusicBed. MusicBed is very like, very totally. Uniquely like symbiotic.
Man, so pro artist.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Which is cool.
Yeah. That's why they're so easy to support. Cause even like,
and that's why I was having such a hard time deciding if I even wanted to do it. It was going to have to be literally either MusicBed or like, I off the top of my head can't even think of anyone else that I would have done that for. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, use code Shaffer, not code Jake. I wish. Oh, dude, I should have had him change my code to not Jake Frew.
Should have changed my code to. Never mind. Man, well, do you have any apologies?
Sorry, MusicBed, my videos didn't perform very well. I tried. Still have one more. Maybe that last one's the big one.
Yeah.
Sorry to MusicBed. Not sorry to the people who listen, dude.
No, we already apologized to them.
Yeah. Sorry to Miley Cyrus.
Not Billy, huh?
Not Billy.
You're not sorry to the Swifties? Are you sure you don't want to apologize to the Swifties?
I'm sure I don't want to apologize to the Swifties. Here's what I would like to say to the Swifties. Go outside. Touch grass, kook. Go outside without your AirPods, without your t-shirt. And then I also want to say, feel free to love whatever you want. Don't listen to meanies like me.
That's the spirit. took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. So both of those things at the same time.
Yeah. I would like to apologize to my dear friends that I had to leave at the museum all alone so that I could come record this
I didn't know that. Oh. Dang.
No, I'm just kidding. It was in the plan all along. Sorry we're a little rusty, but we'll get back in it. 100 episodes or bust, baby. We're almost a quarter of the way there.
Yep.
Are we? We're past a quarter.
Yeah, we are at 31. I think this is 31. So listen while you can, because at 100,
closer to deleting the entire
it's gone.
Archive.
The whole thing is gone, and we'll be free.
And I'm also sorry to Terrance Tantino. I'll watch one of your movies someday.
Okay, you should watch Pulp Fiction probably.
Okay. Well, I'll go see Dream Scenario, and then I'll forget that I haven't seen any Terrance Tantino movies, and we'll talk about it another time,
cool.
I'm sure.
And I won't watch any movies at all, and I will still I'll still critique them all.
Should we tune in next week for Shaffer's review of Dream Scenario?
Sure.
Even though he hasn't seen it, and I'll give you my review of Dream Scenario.
Perfect.
Then I can talk about how much I love it without you shitting on it because you haven't seen it before.
Yeah, just like
but
always.
You'll still shit on it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Weren't we gonna watch Avatar at like some goal or something?
Oh yeah, I think 1,000 subs.
Okay, yeah.
1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
We're getting there. So subscribe to make Shaffer watch Avatar.
Yeah. Also do the thing with the Spotify, whatever you do on Spotify.
Yeah, do the stars on Spotify. Do the stars on Apple. Both platforms, you don't even have to write a review. You can just click the stars. Or you can write a nice review and tell us whose mustache is better.
Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Yeah, because you don't want to embarrass me. The blonde mustache always
it's not even blonde, dude.
It's pretty light. It's lighter than mine, and light mustaches for the win. Always. No,
mine has
jealous.
the gap.
I might bleach mine.
That would be sick.
Just a bleached mustache with brown
your
hair.
eyebrows and your hair is still the same.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, that would look terrible.
Dang. Okay,
well, thanks for being here.
10,000 subscribers, we both bleach our mustache.
Yeah. And to the 12 of you who we're your most listened to podcast ever,
thank you.
Find somewhere else to go. This is not.
Right, that's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say.
Unsubscribe, delete your rating, and get out of here.
Same thing I told the Taylor Swift people.
Touch grass. Just kidding. You're the best. Thanks for being here. Sorry we're a disaster.
And we're not good at taking compliments.
Amen.
Amen.
I say if you don't like this music, you don't be listening to it. You know I'm just a dude that you know, or something similar. If you don't keep it real, then you go somewhere but here, cause you know we're only losing control just for a minute. Oh.